You can't sit with a band like this and not at least take it out for a test drive.
Man, pull them out, let's play.
All right.
Make a jam session out of this.
We have let's get 2 more stories and songs for the radio show. Okay, at least 2 more, because we take this 90 and edit it down. All right. So let's get 2 more stories for the radio show, and then maybe we'll just play 2 or 3 more after that. Okay. Call it a night.
Well, I'll get a story here. In 2011, I believe it was, I was working in Brazil, offshore. And working with a friend of mine who was a Marine during Vietnam. And, somebody clapping back there. And they lived here in Tomball, and his wife was, she's very involved in the Marine Corps Moms Association here in Tomball. Well, their son had just enlisted, and he was gone to Afghanistan or Iraq, I can't remember which. Well, he was calling from offshore trying to get hold of his wife, and he couldn't get in touch with her, so he was a little worried about that. And I remember him sitting down and talking with me, and it kind of clicked. He's like, "Oh man, I know where she's at." He said they were flying a young man home today, so they were having a funeral procession for him in Tomball, and he got killed in Afghanistan. And this young man's name was Jeffrey Johnson, Corporal Jeffrey Johnson, with the United States Marines. And I remember thinking, number one, how blessed I was to have such a good career and be safe where I was at. And to know that this young man in his early 20s, maybe 19, 20, 21 years old, did something more manly than I could probably ever do, and went over there and fought for our country, and he ended up paying the ultimate price. And they were having a big funeral procession, and it really struck me hard. And I went back to my cabin there on the platform, and then this song just started coming to me. And I've never told anybody this, but I kind of tied 2 people together in this song, because a friend of mine that I had served in the military with was also over there at the time, and he was a combat medic with the Special Forces group. And so the first part of the song kind of struck me with him and his family, and it reminded me of him. And the second part of the song was all about Jeffrey, and we titled it Freedom, and we released it on our CD. And it's one of definitely our favorite songs to play. As soon as I got home, I called Brandon, being in the military himself. And I said, "Man, you got to listen to this song." So he came over, and I sat down, I played him the song. And, he was visibly shaking, I could tell. And the next person we wanted to call was my road manager at the time, and his name is Mike Reed. And he was working the oil spill down in Louisiana. And y'all stick with me here. And so I called Mike up, and said, "Man, I got this song, and you need to hear it." So he Skyped or whatever that video call thing was. And I'm not real tech savvy. So we did that, and I played the song for him. And he said, "Man, how'd you come across that?" So I told him the story about this. And he says, "Well, who was the young Marine that you wrote that for again?" And I said, "Well, I don't know him." I said, "But his name was Corporal Jeffrey Johnson." And he says, "Hang on just a minute." And he brought a guy into the screen. And he said, "Tell him the story." So I told him the story, and he says, "This is Jeffrey's father." Jeffrey Johnson's father was working with my road manager in the oil spill in Louisiana. So tell me God doesn't use things to reach people, right? Jeffrey's father, he's not a very outspoken guy. He's pretty quiet, reserved. So I never really knew how he felt about the song. And, excuse me, that kind of concerned me, and I was like, man, I wonder how he really feels. Just recently, I got a message from a friend of his, and she says, "I think you need to know this." She said, "So many times I load up with Jeffrey's father, and we put your CD in, and he plays that song as loud as it'll go on his truck, and we drive by where Jeffrey's buried, and he just plays that song over and over. And you can't write a song that's more important than that." It's called Freedom. I thought about you long brown hair, all dressed up, ready to go somewhere. And it was a summer day, a big smile on your face. I thought about her almost too, how would Mommy explain the hell Daddy went through while he was gone away. I wondered what you'd say. But when I came to, felt that desert heat, I saw bullets landing all around my feet. I was laying face down in my own blood, and that's when my best friend showed up. I never thanked him for saving my life and for never leaving my side. I thank God for making that brave, for sending one my way that day. I saw no fear in his eyes as we took fire from all sides. Well, he gave his life so I'd be saved. That's one price he was proud to pay for my freedom. Touchdown, he finally made it back to his hometown. It was a long, long way where he fell that day. Everyone was there, friends and family. And as I looked around, all eyes were on me, not knowing what to do. Well, I tried to stand and salute. When I saw that box covered with that flag, you took all my strength, took everything I had. I could hit my knees and call his name. Someone tell me this young man did die in grave. 'Cause I never thanked him for saving my life and for never leaving my side. I thank God for making that brave, for sending one my way that day. I saw no fear in his eyes as we took fire from all sides. Well, he gave his life so I'd be saved. That's one price he was proud to pay for my freedom. I'll fight for the love of freedom. Those towers fell, he crashed to the ground. They were the first to load up and leave their hometowns to fight for freedom. Won't you let freedom ring? Let freedom ring. Won't you let freedom ring? honor of Corporal Jeffrey Johnson, United States Marine Corps.